Hey everybody out there, this is Jim. Welcome to Raw. Windy day down here. Got back in Huntington. I was just gonna talk about we could be so prophetic, especially when the anointing of the Lord's on us. That's when we should be prophetic and speaking things into people's lives. And sometimes we could hear from the Lord in a little way or a bigger way, but if we move in faith and what we feel like He's telling us, and then we're going to be moving in the prophetic and be able to speak in people's life. And I don't want to be pathetic about speaking prophetic for the Lord, so I always, I don't want to add any hamburger helper or anything like that. I want to be able to speak what the Lord is telling me to speak, so it is prophetic and not pathetic. So it's definitely not of me. Hopefully my words always come to nothing, especially as I'm, reaching out and talking to you all out there. So, but I had this word once. It was a good one. I was working in helping a ministry out in the warehouse at one of the churches and just ministering to people. And this guy comes walking in, and he had long dark hair, had a really dark tan, and I got coconut. I kind of chuckle like, yeah, coconut. He looks like he got off an island, so that had coconut. So he goes over and sits down, and I got coconut again. And I chuckled again. Okay, and what's up with coconut? And I felt the Lord goes, well, what's a coconut? And I go, well, a coconut, it's hard to open, because it is. You got to peel it off, then you got to open it up. It's a process of getting it open. And I go, it's hard to open, and then once you open it, you get to drink the milk and eat the meat of it. And I go, okay, I get it. He's hard to open. You've been trying to talk to him for a while. You want to open him up so he could drink the milk of the word and the meat of the word and all that stuff. So I went up to him. I go up to this guy and I go, hey, I got this word for you. And so I gave him the word. And now I went up there to give him this word, not knowing what the heck the word's going to mean or how God's going to follow up. I just went up in faith to release this word. God spoke a lot in me just in that little bit to get me going, but there's times where He might just speak one little thing. We just go release that one little word, and then it'll reveal everything else. But it was a bigger part, that bigger chunk He gave me to give to Him. So I gave Him that, and then I go, hey, can I pray for you? And he goes, yeah, sure, go ahead. And so when I laid hands on it, I started praying, the Spirit just dropped big time. It was just like God was calling him his destiny. God started showing me who He was, all of the different attributes of God in Him and stuff. So I was just speaking of those things and calling him out. It was a good 5-minute prayer. It was a long prayer. And it was just declaring who He is in the Lord and just, speaking life into it and everything. And the Lord was so on it. The power of the Spirit was there so strong. Afterwards, I go, so how did it speak to you? And I was talking about the prayer. And he goes, oh, it totally spoke to me. He goes, I'm an artist. I get coconuts. I break them open. I drink the milk and eat the meat out of it and use the shells for art. And I was going, oh my gosh, see how crazy God is? How would I know anything like that? So I go, if that spoke to you, man, everything I spoke to you after that was totally God. He got your attention with that. So it was a big thing. So God will give us little things like that that we shouldn't know, and follow up with the things that God's calling them into, or even healings or whatever it is, or you're taking them out of condemnation or anxiety or anything else. He can open up the door in that manner, but in this case, it was just speaking in his identity, who he really was. Never got to see the younger guy again, but I believe God is going to fulfill what was spoken over him, because the Father's out there to get all of us one way or another. So, hopefully I'll be able to have a live streaming soon, and be able to speak a lot of stuff in your guys' lives. And even in this, I believe this is speaking in the lives, and people are being set free of different things. It's bringing in them. So just cry out to God, ask God to speak to you, and He'll show up and start speaking to you. But I'll talk to you all later. God bless. Bye.